conversation today about it. Aprons that were hanging outside, that like sit behind Coffee with Anna. And I was like, yeah, like I know how to make aprons, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, like these. And I was like, no, I didn't make those. I hate those. Those are not good aprons. And he's like, yeah, no, those aprons suck. Like tried to be supportive of the fact that I was like, no. I was like, those are good aprons. But like, if you want to see a good apron, like wait until I have to pee and I come outside and I have to, and I'll show you what an apron is. But then I never had to pee or we got distracted. But this is that's not an apron moment. This is an apron. It's like saying, those aren't spirit fingers. These are spirit fingers. It's like, that's not an apron. This, my friend, is an apron. Like that apron only had it protected you from cooking. It didn't have the zhuzh. Those aprons right there. Those are the ones, they're cute. They're aesthetic. But I was like, yeah, those hang up because they're cute. They're not functional in the way that like my standards are, but like the patterns are all right. Good morning. Today's coffee is brought to you by sweater weather and the fact that my hair isn't in pigtails. What's going on? I'm grateful, knock on wood, that I have not been having like the upper respiratory stuff that people have going on. I do have allergy skin happening where if I touch my skin, it turns this color. But other than that, everybody's healthy, right? Respite is going well, right? The last time I kind of dumped was like, oh, somebody might be coming, and then we've been doing respite ever since. I've also been editing and having some meetings, and so my recording on Coffee with Anna is not as consistent, but I'm getting a lot of blog and vlog and forward progress done, which is positive, but it throws my habits off. It's new, and I'm trying to adjust. I tested the theory yesterday of can I take hair clients in a way that is streamlined or efficient. I had one of my clients had some damage. I haven't seen her in 6 months, and she was having some hair issues. And I said, I'm like, she's at the point where I can't triage this over text message anymore. I have to get my hands in her hair to see how I can truly help her and give her deep conditioning. And she wanted to go purple before Halloween and all these different things. I said, all right. I said, I have the stuff. I have the product. Let's see if it's, can I still wash a client, right? Went through the process, and I'm not there yet. It is definitely not an easy process to do to get, to be able to work in the capacity that I would like. So I'm still in this shifting and pivoting of where do I put my hair stuff if I'm not doing hair all the time? Where do I put my sewing stuff so that if I do hair, it doesn't get bamboozled by a hair color, right? So it's like, you know what? Maybe we just take hair color out of the situation for right this second and work on really organizing the orders that I have, because I am doing t-shirt quilts. The biggest frustration I have about the t-shirt quilts is that I can't post while I'm doing them, and taking video inside. It's why I'm still recording outside, even though it's cold, is that I don't want to take the chance that I get a surprise for somebody in the background and ruin a Christmas present. I would be devastated. But that makes it difficult when your intention and goal is to eventually have a project blog where you blog while you're doing a project. But you can't do that when the project is a surprise. So it's like, damn it, I have so many different little surprise things coming up. It makes it very difficult. Like, oh, sweet, I'll have a lot of stuff to release after Christmas. So I have a couple of spots left open before Christmas. If you're interested in getting a t-shirt quilt made before Christmas and guarantee it, you have to let me know. Shoot me a message and I can get you on the list, because I do have some openings. So I can't document or talk about those things because I don't want to spoil a surprise, right? So there are some things that I'm working on that I'm excited about, where I've mentioned that previously in the past I've helped a costumer friend of mine who's an amazing artist. He does more fabrications of character building and is looking to source I've done some garments before, right? I did like a straight jacket dress and altered a couple things. And then now I'm working on like a onesie kind of base outfit, but that is like functional and has some intention to it, right? So I'm excited to work on those projects. And yesterday, while I was just perusing the Pinterest for some inspirations, looking at every sewing, costuming detail, that it's like, I was like, Joe, my brain's like, bet throw anything that you have included in your previous builds and characters. I am under the impression that I'm not afraid of anything that you might need from me. And at this point, it's like, yeah, if I can't do it, throw me a bone, man. Bet, let's see if we can, right? And I said to him, I was like, I didn't do the alterations on $20,000 Vera Wang dresses, right? But I was the person when there was a problem with those, where it's like having to speak to an alterations person and know what I was talking about. Of like, is this the quality that we're looking for with a Vera Wang at this price point? Like, that level of artistry is not what we're talking about here. We are talking about functioning. Like, a wedding dress doesn't maybe have to crawl on the ground in the dark. Okay. I'm not going to have to do any French seams or really intricate lace work. I'm going to have to make sure that something can hold up because it's going to be tattered and torn and thrown blunt on it, maybe. I don't know. There's a difference in this kind of garment construction. Whereas if you're doing a wedding dress, a prom dress, something for a one-time moment, it's super expensive. It's a one-time thing, and you're not making it so it can hold up in the wash, And it's also not just white satin $100 a yard material, right? It's all different textures and it lights my brain up a lot. So I'm perusing the Pinterest, having a nice little Pinterest crafternoon inspirational moment, and I run across this little guy. Is that a $15,000 Dolce & Gabbana straight jacket dress and miniskirt? Bet. I don't have leather to work with, but it doesn't need to be in leather. It needs to be washed. Can I recreate that look out of canvas? So I took a screenshot of that and I sent it to my friend who's the customer, and was like, listen, there's 1,000 techniques that I would definitely like to try in that Pinterest board that I shared with you a minute ago that has 478 pins in it already. But I saw this $15,000 GB number and was like, bet. And his response in all caps was, I will sell the shit out of any straight jacket dress you can construct. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. The creative excitement that brings me of okay, I'm going to work on the onesies, and I will most likely construct one of those today and have our prototype and really be able to hit home. But the kids in the back of the car are trying to figure out how we make straight jacket dresses. Because we can. Do I need to wear that? No. Do I want to try it on? Heck yeah. And I definitely will give everybody realistic expectations of how, I didn't garden before, but then I did garden, and then people are like, you're super extra, and it's oh, I didn't know this was extra. I mean, I assumed, but just extra's my default. It's we were talking about the onesies and potentials of okay, what does the next year look like before you have your big convention? Blah, blah, blah. And it was, he came over to see the fabric that I acquired from the fabric haul. And I was like, I have to give you some expectations before we go inside. Joe, if you would have called me 2 weeks ago and been like, what if I wanted to do 100 original costumes? Do you think that that's something that I could figure out? And I was like, business coach Anna would be like, finding somebody with the talent. If you find somebody with the talent, yes, you can outsource it. But then you have to 100 costumes, and then if you wanted to do all original, the amount of fabric, you're gonna have to look for a Joanne Fabrics that went out of business. I don't know, right? If you would have called me 2 weeks ago, I'd have been like, oh, you might be looking to bite off more than you can chew. And we go inside, and I show him the different bins that I have kind of pre-sorted, right? I've pre-sorted into textiles that I can make patterns with, because the print I don't really know what to do with. And then there's two-way stretch, four-way stretch, there's lace, there's baubles, there's fine, all of this stuff. And I said to him, I was like, but 2 weeks ago I'd been like, God, that's an undertaking. I was like, Joe, realistically, I couldn't sit down and start sewing and use all this fabric. It would take me years. Can you throw your worst at it? Any of these things that inspire you, you tell me what you're looking for, and I will try to construct that, because but what am I going to do with all this fabric? If you were to ask me now, hey, do you think I can come up with 100 unique characters and procure the fabric from this insanity that you picked up? And I'd be like, Joe, I think that we could do 300. This is a lot. And yet, but nothing tickles me more than the fact that I have all of this fabric to work from. But then I'm like, where do I start? Do you know how much gingham I have? What can we make with gingham? What do, I know that I can come up with projects and make myself some amazing things, or make costumes for somebody, or outfits, whatever. But knowing that somebody who is as creative as he is, for him to be able to focus on his craft, if he needs a little assistance and like, hey, can you help me with some garments? Yes, please. Did my mother send you? I love having creative projects to work on, and I'm very excited to document the process of how I would consider myself I don't know what to label myself as far as a sewer, right? Like, I don't consider myself an expert in any realm of sewing, but being able to create with textiles and sewing machines, let's do a lot of that. And if y'all don't think that I'm not going to attempt to make myself some of these dresses that are here, then you're sadly mistaken. Like, I can't wait to make myself a dress like one of these and be like, oh, like just a Southern Belle, right? So those are very exciting things for me on the forefront of what I'm going to do with the fabric inside that I'm excited about. I just got a phone call in the realm of recording and vlogging and what I'm working on behind the scenes, right? So we built a pumpkin dome, and I've expressed how difficult it is, or what people's faces look like when I start to say things like, well, we have a retention pond pumpkin dome. We have a retention pond, inverted trampoline, climbing dome, pumpkin garden bed. People get confused. In the realm of that, though, there is somebody who exists in the area who heard what I was building, hasn't seen it, may have seen pictures, got excited about it, and then built his own and didn't have a retention pond to cover up. So the fact that exists is exciting, and I've asked if he would be interested in sitting down so I can interview him about like how his process went, right? Because like there's two of us that have at least an upside down trampoline over a hole. I don't know what his looks like. I'm going to go see it later after it's not raining this week, hopefully. But I just found out that person is available today to come here to see my pumpkin dome trampoline trellis, blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to talk about that and my process. And then I'm going to go see his and talk about his so I can edit for a encompassing video of I'm not the only ones. So I'm going to fill my day today with taking apart a onesie to reconstruct in a better pattern and create our own. And then I'm going to do a little recording and an interview with somebody who was inspired by my pumpkin dome. And then tonight, my sister and I are going to work on our Jamie Jams Christmas cards because that's on the list. All right. I think 2 hours ago, I was like, I don't know what today looks like. And what's happening. And why is Grace not of Uncrustables? And we got to go to the store and everything's bad. And that narrative is shifting. I'm grateful for it. But man, this morning was a little bit of a rough one. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. It's Wednesday. Today's coffee was brought to you by the Sweater Weather mug. And I hope everybody treats himself well, has a carrot at the end of the string, and is looking forward to a fun October. I am just over here trying to do normal people shit. Carol Baskins, what you doing up there? Carol. Hi, baby Tutu. I just invented a new type of coffee, and it's coffee when you don't have creamer and you just use butter pecan ice cream. It's an A mug. The coffee tasted fine. The fact that you have to chew the end of it, that butter and pecans left at the end, not so great. I need a power washer for my mouth. Thank God the neighbor's mowing. Oh, that was not the coffee that we needed. Happy Thursday. I'm out of creamer, so all coffee's terrible until 2 o'clock when our Walmart delivery comes. Happy Thursday. How's everybody doing? I'm also out of my Adderall because I didn't get to the Walgreens because the last 2 days were a little bit of a wrench thrown. So now I am trying to get my shit together and go forward. The good news and excitement is that my sewing machine table prototype template to recess my sewing machine, my Elna worker horse machine, into the steel frame table that I got on the Facebook Marketplace for $20. That was a sewing machine for a table for a smaller sewing machine. We put mine in there, and then we had to come up with a top for it, and we did it. So today I get to test it, and like I get to run. It's like I'm getting ready for the big race. So I don't want to test this on like a quilt order in case it doesn't functionally work the way I need it to. So I was like, okay, I don't want to start a whole quilt. I just need to test like quilting something in a big capacity so that I can figure out where to put the sewing table, because I might need to put it like on an L with 2 other tables to hold the weight of the quilt, if you're following along. So I found this Minecraft top sheet from Pottery Barn that was like a queen size that Grayson doesn't like just a top sheet. And then I found one of those like fluffy blankets. Like I said to April last night, I said, Mom would have put like the top sheet and then that fluffy blanket and then the comforter, right? It's like, I want the sheet, I want the middle piece, but I don't want those 2 things to be separate anymore. It's like, I want the fluffy side, but I also want the cool side, you know? So I'm just going to quilt those 2 things together and see what happens. And I said, I've slept with it the last 2 nights because I tried to pin it, and I decided homie ain't playing that game, and I'm spray basting. So I just threw all of our pillows and blankets on the ground of our king size bed, put this on there, spray basted it, and now I'm going to test the theory of, did Shane and I just make the most awesome sewing table in the world? I think yes, but let's prove it. Once I get done with that test run, then I have all the pieces cut for the first prototype of a adult onesie costuming how do you do, and that's very fun. So I'm going to get in the sewing room, and I'm sewing today, and I'm excited about that because it's been a lot of preparatory and clean up and move things around in fabric. So now it's like, I'm going to do it. I had another meeting this morning with Snoopaloop, and I am making a Iowa toga, which makes me super excited, and matching headband. And I was like, maybe if I have some time, I'll make like some scrunchies or like a purse to go with you to give to the ladies that are with you. And he was like, I was like, dude, we've known each other for 100 years. You know I'm extra. So knowing I have to test the theory of different techniques, and I can just sew some stuff together, or I can take the extra fabric from a really cool thing and do extra like how do you do's. Ooh, the excitement. Do you know how much like extra purse stuff I have to make? Like I could make her a clutch. He's going with friends because a friend's daughter is at Iowa, and they're going to go do tailgating and like adult parent stuff of college kids. So it's like they're going to be, he's like, I want to be extra. It's like, you speak my language. So I'm doing an Iowa toga, but then also like a headband for a friend of his, for Matt, for another friend, and then for Matthias, and then to do like a little something. I'm gonna make accoutrement. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. And do you know how excited that it makes me? A lot. Today's a sewing day, but it's not just a sewing day. It's a sewing day that I can vlog and record and talk about. And that makes me excited because secrets are great. But I have 2 months until somebody opens the quilts that I've done, where it's like, okay, let me know when they open them because then I'm going to want to talk about them because I'm really proud and they're really cool. You know, like, ooh, this I can talk about. And I continue to throw the challenge out there. If somebody has a unique sewing project or costume or favorite pair of something that they want to see if Anna can replicate it. Help me help you, right? Let's see what we can make. Also, I think today's the day. And if today's not the day, then tomorrow definitely is. And I'm going to plan accordingly. Where tomorrow, I think I've committed that I'm going to decapitate and cut the heads off all of my zinnias to get the ombre puzzle picture I have been chomping at the bit for 3 weeks now. So I think that tomorrow's supposed to be 70 degrees. Hopefully it's sunny, and then I get to dry all of those zinnia heads and make them into garland to hang in my sitting area. Oh my gosh, if I do all the sewing today, I can have sewing prototypes today, but then tomorrow outdoor craft afternoon. All right. Okay. Good morning and happy Saturday. Today's coffee is brought to you by the Believe mug. Ted Lasso's my favorite show. If you haven't watched it yet, you're not being kind enough to yourself. Shane's inside making breakfast, and I just washed and dried my hair, so we'll see how long I can fight the urge to just put it in pigtails and call it a day. I don't know. I haven't had a haircut in a year. I don't know what to do with this nightmare. Had some respite hours this week, which was efficient. We got a lot of stuff moved and Marie Kondoed and organized enough for me to I woke up this morning and I was like, okay, I'm not going to have a heart attack. I'm going to jump in the shower and wash my hair. So that was new. Shane and I have some weekend house stuff on our list, like we are taking down the pool and cleaning the gutters, and then getting a plan to secure this awning to the house instead of it being adjacent. So it's like we're getting all that kind of stuff done. A couple of my girlfriends and I are going to go up to the Antiochs. At the high school, they have a craft fair, so we're going to go up and have a little girl time, and I'm excited because I haven't socialized in a capacity that I would have liked to in a long time. Good morning and happy Monday. Today's coffee is brought to you by Ain't No Hood Like Motherhood, a mug given to me by my mother-in-law, who's amazing. Phenomenal. Great mug, nice and large. And I have my bathrobe on over my sweatpants and sweatshirt because it is too cold for me to survive. And I don't know what to do because I don't like being inside. So it's like, I'm too cold for this weather. I'm currently waiting for Randall to get here to go over respite, which is moving forward, but I'd be very interested to interview him and see how he has perceived me during this process, because it is not an easy process for me. And that man has taken some bullets of like, it's like, it's not you. This is just hard for me. Like, whoever's going to be here doing this with me I'm a nightmare. Like, I'm sorry about that, but we keep going. We're getting things done, but holy crap, I'm a nightmare, right? I have to have that conversation today of like, how much of a nightmare am I to you? I'll take progress and being a nightmare at the same time. I just won't take being a nightmare with no progress. Like, I will happily accept the fact that I'm going to be a little nightmarish as we get settled, because it's hard. But hey, Randall, how you doing in that process? Oh, how are your feelings? Have I hurt them? It's kind of difficult helping somebody while they're like in an emotional dysregulation. And the problem is like the thing that they need the help with has an automatic emotional dysregulation that's hard for her to deal with. So we'll see if he shows up. The good news is the dress that I altered last week had its event this weekend, and it went great. I have an order for a custom Iowa toga placed by a friend of mine, and the extraness that I am, it's like, okay, we need Iowa fabric. Okay, we picked out the fabric, we found a deal, get me the whole bolt. Gets the fabric. Okay, this is the idea. It's like, can we do a headband? Yep. Who else is going? 2 other people? All right. So yeah, if I have extra fabric, I'm going to make I'm making a little how do you do's. So I think I'm going to make a couple of little scrunchies. I made a headband, and I think I might actually make like a little purse to go with it because I'm extra. I have the first special order t-shirt quilt done, and I'm planning on constructing the second one in that order towards the end of the week. But before that, I have a couple of custom costume and requests. I have a request for an EDM festival outfit. That makes me excited. I met a woman at the craft fair that we went to whose daughter does upcycling, and she's putting her way through. She's like putting herself through college by sewing. And I was like, oh my God, I wish that I had that get up and goes like when at her age. FY, like, are you in need of any kind of fabric or short on any fabric because of the Joann Fabrics closings and things? Like, how are things going for her? And she's like, we are out of lace and we are nervous. And I was like, it just so happens I just acquired a shit ton of lace. So I have to go through some of that fabric to be able to pay it forward and pass it on, which I'm excited about that. And I think that the guy found more. I just have to figure out how to logisticize that. I kind of jacked up my shoulder, and so I'm moving just a little slow, or slower than I would like, right? Not the pace that I would like to just go all the time at, I have hopes that this week is going to move well and be productive, where I'm going to button up the orders that I have. I'm going to get some more backyard things settled and get ready for Halloween. I put it out there, I think on Halloween, we're going to do the backyard, have a bonfire, have it so the kids can come to the backyard and do a little haunted kind of, like a little spooky trail, kind of. I don't know how to have kids come to the house and not give them candy on a trampoline pumpkin dome. Like, they're going to have to go see it. Just like, happy Halloween. Come, you want to go to my backyard? Bring your parents. Like, I don't care. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but that's the goal. And I did decapitate a quarter of all my zinnias and started to get the ombre picture that I want to do for the puzzles, which I'm excited about. And I have more to cut, but until I get that done and really figure out how to preserve the zinnia heads, because I want to seed save and not have the animals eat all the flower heads like they've been doing, I'm stringing them up along with peppers. And so while I'm getting those pictures, I am also stringing up like zinnia garland. And like I said, peppers. My garden did not grow peppers. I got like 2, and they were not happy bell peppers. And then we got some like really big ones that were hot. So it was like, okay, where are the mild peppers I planted? Yeah, those didn't go mild, or I don't know where I don't like peppers in general. I definitely don't like hot peppers. And every pepper that Shane has put in his mouth has left him in tears of like, I need milk. So I didn't grow a lot of peppers, but I can't just the idea of like letting something go bad on the vine and then just not needing it. It's like, it's my rescue heart is like, you got to save all the babies, you know? So I went over to my in-laws and a couple of times, and I keep picking their peppers and taking all of them. It's like, no, I'll take them. You know, you don't even eat peppers. What are you going to do with them? I'm going to string them up and make garland out of them and dry them out. What am I going to do with them after that? I don't know. But there's a lot of peppers and I just can't let them die. So I am hoping to get enough done inside so that I can continue the mission outside and have fun with my siblings this weekend when they all come to visit, because we're having cake for my mom's birthday on Saturday, right? So all of these things that are coming up are my little carrots at the end of the string that help get my get up and goes to go during the week, so that when Randall shows up, which he just got here, and we have to do a little catch up on like where we are as far as respite, because shit moves fast and it's exhausting, right? And we have 2 weeks left to complete the goal that we set, or at least that's the rough deadline of, ideally we'd be done with the big moving of things in 2 weeks. And we are on track, but the amount of things that we still have to do is overwhelming. What we've done already is overwhelming and dysregulating, but it is not moving forward. It's just trying to make it so that we can survive it. And it's not like, oh God, this is happening to us. And like, it feels like so many balls are moving that it's hard to feel like you're in control of the logistics, and it melts me down. Right? I think that's the best way to describe it and kind of where we're at, but it's not moving forward. That's what we're going to sit and record next, is like, okay, what have we done? What are our goals? What do we have to do next? How is it going? Right? That's like weekly check-in stuff. So that's what I got to do next. And maybe I do that in a row, but I don't know. I'm freezing. So in that sense, I'm going to stop rambling on the internet. I'm going to get my peppers and things ready to be strung up. I'm going to go inside, get shit done, crush today, meet with Snoop, finish up the Togas, and then get ready to see my siblings this weekend. So today's coffee brought to you by Ain't No Hood Like Motherhood mug. It's nice and large and in charge. I hope everybody punches today in the face, and I hope that I get my Etsy channels up and running enough to put out the first release of Little Jamie Jam's Christmas How Do You Do fundraiser things. So that's all my little goals at the end of the stream. I hope everybody has a great day.